Hello, and once again, it's a warm welcome from the studios of BRTK in Lefkosha. My name is John Ghazi, and today I'm very happy to invite two lovely ladies all the way from near the Karpaz region, from Büyükkonuk and Çayırova. I'm happy to welcome Lois Cemal and Kıymet Alibey, and they're both involved with the Rural Development Day, which will take place on the 6th of May in Büyükkonuk between 10 AM and 5 PM. On the 6th of May, it's time to go to that area and it's time to find out more about what these lovely ladies are doing. So first of all, Kıymet Hanım and Lois Hanım, welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, let's start with you, Lois. I mean, I remember meeting you years ago, I think.
Yes.
And I think everyone knows your name. Your name is connected with the village of Büyükkonuk. Okay. And I think everyone knows about the traditional eco days that you have.
Yes, yes.
Which are very, very successful.
We've had about 18 festivals already.
18?
Yes.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
And this time of the year again, we have another festival, although under a different name, and you'll tell us about that in a while. But you are originally from Canada, is that right?
Well, I'm Canadian, of Canadian parents, but I was brought up in India. My parents were missionaries in India for almost 40 years, so I grew up in India. Am I American? Am I Canadian? Am I Turkish? I mean, what am I? I don't know. Citizen of the world.
Yeah, I was about to say, you are a lady of the world.
Yes.
And you met your husband
in
Ismail,
Australia. In Australia.
In Australia.
Yeah.
And then you came back to live.
Well, when he left Cyprus, it was before the Troubles, before the war. So he left from Limassol, and he came back to northern Cyprus, where his parents were relocated. They came from the village in Aksilu. So I joined him for the first time in '84, and then we went back to Australia, sold our house, and came to live in '86.
In '86?
'86, so it's 32 years now.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
So that's your brief background there.
Yep, that's it in a nutshell.
And now we have the lovely Kıymet. Welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
You are a Turkish Cypriot.
Yes.
But you were born, where were you born in Cyprus?
I was born in Limassol.
In Limassol.
Yes,
So
in Limassol.
similar to Ismail then maybe?
Yes, Ismail was born in a Papas village, Aksilu, but he was studying, he was staying there in Limassol. We haven't met before.
You never met before?
No. After '74, we moved here. My husband was a policeman, so they gave him a job in Mehmetçik, and they gave us a house in Çayırova. My two children, one was 3 years old, the other one was 6 years old, and so we stayed there. And now, until now, I'm here, there, and I'm happy being Çayırova, but mostly my days is in Büyükkonuk.
Yes, which is not too far from
6 kilometers,
Çayırova.
only 6 kilometers.
6 kilometers, very near.
Yes.
So you are neighbours and friends at the same time.
Yes.
And I know that you are involved. You are. Let me get this right. It's an NGO. Are you the president of the Büyükkonuk
Ecotourism Association?
Yes.
I was the constructor from the beginning. I was there. We met Lois in 2004 while we were having trainings about Karpaz, about what we can do for Karpaz, because at times after the gates were open, we had so many foreign people coming and being interested, helping us, USAID, SAVE, and so they were giving us training about what we can do for Karpaz. And during that time, we met with Ismail and Lois, and then we had the Friends of Karpaz Association. We were working all together there. Lois sometimes became president, I was vice president, Ismail became president, like that. And during that time, Büyükkonuk had, with Ismail, leader Ismail and Lois, they were trying to do some ecotourism and make Büyükkonuk known, because there are so many rich things in the Büyükkonuk, such as culture, environment, and tradition, and everything, the people, and the buildings, everything. So they asked us if we can have a representative to that. It wasn't an NGO then, it was just a committee. Yeah. And I jumped there, I was very interested, and from that day on, I became first as a member, simple member, Then we had all together. We made a good team with Ismail, Lois, and me, and we started having projects and increasing in making the organization well known. And with festivals, they had so many trainings there with the women. Lois will tell you the story.
Before we talk about the Büyükkonuk Day, I want to also say that you were a member, weren't you? You were working for the port in Cemal for many years before you had to retire at the age of 60.
Yes.
So before all of this, you were just a lady working for your family, and then all of a sudden you found yourself with Lois and involved with ecotourism and Büyükkonuk.
Yes.
And Lois, what was your? I mean, you came to Cyprus with your husband 32 years ago. What was your profession, or were you always a lady working with nature, with culture? What was your background?
Okay, I was the daughter of missionaries from India, so I grew up in India, and I appreciated a lot of things like culture and crafts, and great interest in that. Mm-hmm. I'm a midwife by profession, and when I came to Cyprus, I wanted very much to do nursing, but I didn't have the language, so it took me a long time to learn the language. Well, professionally, to do it as a profession. And then I had a third baby, so it was just looking after the children. By that time, I was learning to make cheese, I was learning to make bread, I was learning everything that the village ladies did became a goal that to achieve, to learn. So I've never been bored, I've always been busy. My contribution to the health of the society was to give injections. This is something Cypriots love injections. They think if a doctor is a good doctor, he'll write an injection for you. So I used to give them. Sometimes I'd question them. I said, you don't need to give your baby penicillin injections, and we used to have an argument about that sometime. Yeah. But anyways, I used to take blood pressures. I used to look at the old ladies, pocket a packet of pills and say, no, this one is finished, this one is good, this one is not good. So in a way, I got to know a lot of people that way, and they still come up to me. They say, you gave me an injection so many years ago. And they used to pay me with grapes and potatoes and all kinds of wonderful things like that. It was a fantastic way to get to know the village. Fantastic.
So you really immersed yourself in village life back then. And here you are now talking about the Rural Development Day, but the Büyükkonuk Day, that was the very first time, I think, was it back in 2007?
Eco Day was the first day, yes. We called it Eco Day because we wanted to be ecological. And some of the ecological practices that we did was we decided to ban plastic bags.
Yeah.
But do you think we could find paper bags for sale? There were no paper bags for sale. So we had newspaper, and we were sticking newspaper together. But you couldn't wrap bread in newspaper, for example. So we had wax paper, and we had cloth bags. So it was an effort we made, but we decided it was because after a trip that we'd been to in India, they banned plastic bags in India, because they got stuck in the palm trees, in the thorns, and everywhere. Well, if they can do it, surely a little country like this can do it.
Your very first Eco Day that you organised,
yes.
I was listening to your interview with my colleague Denise. You were saying that it was a few stalls,
20,
and the ladies. It's all about women empowerment, isn't it? Because the whole idea, tell me, correct me if I'm wrong, was that all the ladies in the village had something to offer in the way of handicrafts, or in the way of cooking, their cuisine, their talents, and they had their stalls. Go back to that first Eco Day. Kıymet Hanım, what was it like when you had that first Eco Day in Büyükkonuk?
Yes, it was very exciting. Before that, we had a trainer from America. They provided us a very good trainer. The first question was, what do you have in Büyükkonuk to give to the person, to introduce to a visitor if they you want them to come, and how do you do it? And in old times, you know, they were pioneers. And what do? What they used to do there? They used to meet with boys, with girls, or no, and bring their products for sale, you know. And so festivals is like that, you know, a festival is like this. So first we said, let's make it in October we had olives there, olive oil was there, so let's make it just this. And so we knocked the doors to the ladies and said, okay, come, what do you make for your family? You know, you cook bread, you have olives, you have the green olives or olive oil, everything, and maybe börek, something. Just make one, and we're going to provide you stands there, and we'll come and we'll invite people to come, so that you'll introduce your products and you get money. And they said, well, we don't have anything. One of them said, I don't know what to cook. I said, okay, you have nice green olives. Just make a bread, slice the bread, and a handful of green olives and the slice of bread, you may sell that one, the village way. You know, and the other one said, what can I say? My mother grows beans. Okay, take the beans, but no plastic. In the sockets and somewhere, bring the fresh beans, you know, broad beans, and sell that one there, you know. So we suggested, even me, I wanted to take part there. I had, you know, the turunç macun, we call it the Cemal orange preserves, you know, leaf preserve.
Yeah, the jam.
It was in, yes, it was in the preserving syrup. I emptied a night before in a colander. I drained the syrup. I put 1-2 sticks to each of the things, and I served it there, and I sold it 1 lira to eat. okay. In 2 hours, everything was sold. They were so happy that they sold everything, and we were 1,500 people visited that day. They were said, "Oh, how nice! We sold everything," you know, and they were very excited. So we decided, okay, let's make it in May. In May, we have new milks coming, lambs coming. We have cheese. Nor and everything, so you can sell your cheese, and you know, the wine leaves are out, you can sell your wine leaves and everything, and so how we started.
And so it became like, I think, was it, you know, twice a year?
Yes.
May and
October.
Yes.
Second week of October, second Sunday in October, first Sunday in May, because second Sunday is Mother's Day. Once we tried, somebody forced us to have that day because but it wasn't very successful. So we prefer a week before, and we have so many handcrafts, they can come and buy something for their mothers.
Yes, so there you are, a good idea. On the 6th of May, a week before Mother's Day, you can go along to the Rural Development Day in Büyükkonuk and get some great stuff. And we'll be talking about the stuff here on my lovely table in a while. So after that first day, which was so successful, it became a big event. I know that lots of people go. I mean, when it's the Eco Day, when you look at social media, I know that maybe you're not on there all the time, Lois, but everyone is showing pictures of them at the festival. And the idea of the festival isn't just to sell the products, but to show about village life. I know that you're showing how to make the, you know, the brooms from the sticks. You have donkey rides for the children. It's more of a bringing of the village life to everyone around you, isn't it, really? Bringing it alive. Is that how you feel?
Even this time, we have about 5 or 6 demonstrators.
Yeah.
We're going to be, people are going to be making baskets. They'll be making lefkara lace work. There'll be also someone doing the traditional scarves. Two Cypriots have a different way of doing them.
The Yemeni.
Yeah, the Yemeni. So the special way they do that. There's also a lady making noodles, shehirge noodles.
Right.
So there's going to be things like that, and it's something to see and something to learn. We also invite NGOs to come, and they can advertise their missions, and it's a time for people to do all sorts of different things. We have a walk. We have a scheduled walk. Yes,
I believe at 1 o'clock we have a free guided 2-hour walking tour to Sazlıköy's Byzantine Chapel.
Yes, it's a 6th century chapel, very tiny. It has 13th century additions to it. There are some very smoky murals on the very top. Lovely little setting. There's absolutely nothing around it. And the walk there is so idyllic through fields and olive groves and the hillside. And of course the Sazlıköy is a tiny little village with a little mosque, and it's all very interesting. So it'll take about 2 hours. It's a 2-kilometer distance there, 2 kilometers back, and we do a little circle around.
Yeah.
Be very nice.
Do you feel, Lois, that you know, it's gotten so popular that, I mean, you said over 40,000 people last time came to the village, and they were parking a kilometre away, some people had to park and walk to the village.
Yeah.
I mean, that is amazing. And I know, I mean, I've actually never been to your Büyükkonuk Eco Day because I hear about it, but I'm a bit lazy. I'm living in the Gin area, but I do go to other festivals. And I know that festival time, especially on a Sunday, is for the family to come out and enjoy the food and drink, especially the food and drink.
Yes.
Do you find that it's got so successful that I mean, how do you control all of this?
Well, we have many meetings leading up to it. We work with the municipality, but it's a lot of effort of volunteers. And we have training classes. We've given our women training in hygiene, hospitality, innovation. So maybe there's a product. What do you do just with pekmez, like heart carob syrup?
Yeah.
You can make other things with that. So this is called innovation. So you're using a traditional product and you're elaborating on it. How do you package it? How do you present it? So labeling, everything has to be labeled. It has to have the person's name on it, and it has to be homemade and handmade. We don't go in for machine-made things. We don't go in for commercial things.
No.
So everything has to be. It's like you're proud that you did it. You put your name on it, and if there's any complaints, it can come back to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is very important. So if you find something that hasn't a label on it, I would suggest you don't buy it. Go for the label, and that's very important because that means that person has put all their effort into presenting a good product for you.
And any inquiry can go back to that person who made it.
Yes, exactly. That's the idea, because we want our people to be responsible for what they're doing. This is why we go for trainings, and I think we were just talking between ourselves that we think that our new members and people who are new to the ecotourism movement need to go through this whole section again and learn about the hygiene again, learn about the sizes, the portion sizes. Very big argument we have. Oh, they do it this big in that village and they have little symbols. And so we actually have to get rulers and measure. Pilauna is this size, bread is this weight.
Yes.
The bulgur köftesi is a certain size. So, because if I'm a punter, if I'm a person going out shopping, I don't want to pay the same price for something this big that I can get somewhere else this big. I mean, that's the philosophy behind it. So we have a standard size, standard price, and from our village, other people are doing the same thing, other villages.
So really, in a way, it's not just, oh, you know, we have all this space for stands and stalls, come along, put your things there, and that's it.
No.
Everything is controlled, like you said. It's all going to be homemade, handmade, with your label to the right.
Yes, they have to attend meetings. They have to attend meetings so that we know, and there's actually list signing.
Wow.
Yes.
So this is it's very controlled. We have a lot of people who want to join. We say no ice cream vendors, like, you know, if you want ice cream, you stand there with a proper stand and you give scoops. You don't go and park your van. If you want corn on the cob, you have to do it properly. We don't put signs above saying this is Ahmet, Mehmet, or whatever. This is, something that we want to be a cottage industry, basically.
It sounds fascinating.
It is.
And let's now make an effort to point out that this year we have something slightly different, because I know that you have municipal elections coming up, the mayor elections, and so the municipality are not involved this year so much, but you still wanted to have the first Sunday in May as your Eco Day. So we now have the Rural Development Day, supporting local village life. And you were saying on the radio, Lois, you're going back to your roots, like the original where you had a few stands. So it's a smaller scale thing.
It
is. Is this something that you are happy about this year now, Kıymet Hanım?
Yes, let me tell you, you know, from the beginning, 10 years ago when we started, we didn't imagine that we are going to have 5,000 people visiting an eco-village. You know, eco-village sometimes, even it's a good points and bad points, okay? And also we had so many complaints saying that it's too crowded, I cannot walk, it's too crowded, I cannot find anything to eat, I cannot find a place to sit. This time we gave them the opportunity. Because of the elections, the municipality said we are not going to make the Eco Day, the big Eco Day. But what is Eco Day? What is an eco village? It's a rural development, okay? And that brings the sustainability of the, improvement of a village.
Yes.
Both time, for the humans there, for the environment, and for the humans, everything. So, and it's a tradition for 10 years, every first Sunday of May, we continue to make these and invite the visitors to come to the village and have this atmosphere all together, have the village life together, a day out with the family.
Yeah.
So why not?
Why
My
not?
mate is smaller. We are going to have nearly 40 stands. We'll have one kebab making, two gözleme, one corn making, one köfte making on the spot with the fire, because we didn't allow them to cook at home the things that contain meat.
Yeah.
It's dangerous to have it keeping all day there.
Of course.
So we'll have one stand there making that, and the stand owners, we invited them to the meeting. We told them the price will be this. I don't want any, even the olive oils or the pekmez, everything. The price will be this, and you are not going to sell expensive than this, higher than this, and also even köfte has to be a pencil size. Okay, a pencil
Very
size.
strict rules, yeah.
Yes, and 150 grams for pilavna. Okay, you are not going to use all one kind of cheese, you know, the traditional pilavna cheese, this cheese.
Yeah.
You can add a little bit, such as ricotta, I mean, nor in it, or halloumi cheese.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because it is a tradition. In some villages, they mix three, even the Greek side, they mix three cheeses for the mixture, you know.
Ah.
But in some villages, they prefer, and they both are making all from pilavna cheese, you know. It's because of the, you know, tradition. But we want it traditional, no any additive in it, nothing in it. We want it traditional that day. It's a village day. It's a, you know, village life. And we invite people to come and join us there, enjoying. Music will be music, and we have a women choir there. And also the songs that we sing there is all traditional Cypriot songs.
Wow, amazing.
Okay? And we have a folklore group, and this will be between 12 and 1 o'clock, but we will start at 10 o'clock. Anybody who wants to have a breakfast with us, they may come and have a breakfast there, or wait for kebab for lunch. It's up to them.
Yes.
But everything is there, and the atmosphere is there.
Why not? I mean, here is the little poster. It says, Rural Development Day, supporting local village life, 6th of May, Büyükkonuk, 10 to 5. Experience traditional local food, crafts, music, dance, donkey rides, and other activities in Büyükkonuk. As we said, at 1 p.m, a free guided tour, a 2-hour walking tour to Sadakoz's Byzantine Chapel, and this is organised by the members of the Büyükkonuk Ecotourism Association and Rural Women. And so, Lois and Kıymet, this year you have, well, not just this year, but you are now really educating the public, aren't you? Other people in proper ecotourism. And tell us a bit about what you've done. I mean, have you gone to other villages? Have you actually now got a guideline?
We do.
To share with others.
We have a workbook that we can go through with people, and it's great to see other villages picking up, and they try to choose a theme. I mean, we had an excellent teacher. He was the man who got Costa Rica on the map with the ecotourism.
Yeah.
That's really big there. So we were very fortunate, and he helped us choose which direction we wanted to go. Like he said, do you want dune buggies? We said, no, we don't want dune buggies ripping around the place and making a lot of noise. We want it's the gentleness, the quietness, the scenery. At the same time that we started these festivals, we also we became members of a global eco-village network, which is centered in Europe. They also have the American one and the Asian one. And even though we're not a village that started from scratch, we're actually an indigenous village that's trying to go ecological, if you can understand. Normally, families or people would get together for a common reason, whether it's ecological or spiritual or for whatever the motive, and they come together and they buy land and they build homes. But we're already in a village, but we were not that big. We only had 600, 800 people maximum in our village. But we did have a mixture of cultures. We have from mainland Turkey, we have the local people who lived there all the time, and we had the people who migrated up from Paphos and Limassol.
Yeah.
So it was they are different. I mean, you think they're all Cypriots or they're all Turkish speaking, but there's big differences. And we're trying to make the advantage. So when we do our products, we say handmade, homemade. This is very important. And to keep your smile on your face, we've also got women wearing traditional clothes, because I find with women in Cyprus, it's quite easy to go with the trends, tight pants, shorts, you know, big earrings, sunglasses. This is not the Cypriot image that we want to portray. So we've gone for more traditional clothes, longer sleeves, the karpaz pantaloons with the lace at the bottom, and a flower print dress. So all of these things, and always a Yemeni on your head, because you're presenting food or you're presenting craft. So it's something simple to do.
And do you think all the generations there, I mean, there must be, you know, families with the youngsters, the children, or the teenagers even. Is it all a big family day? Do you think that everyone gets involved with this, looking forward to their Büyükkonuk Eco Days?
Yes, and also while they're preparing their food, all the family is involved.
Yeah.
Sometimes the man makes the köfte, and the lady of the house fries it, and even the children, they're all excited. It's a family activity also, and we are waiting for the families to come. The children may have the donkey rides, you know, and they may have biscuit products there, you know, for there, and the elderly may have a nice day. We'll have 2 restaurants open, one also on that day. So it will be fun for everybody.
It will be fun for everyone.
Yes.
Amazing. And now you brought some stuff in today for us.
Yes.
Just very briefly. We have soap, don't we? Traditional.
Yes, this is something that was taught to us by some Italian people. It was a course open to everybody in the Karpaz area, and it was well attended, but not many people are doing it. Although Ismail and I, we learned, my husband and I, we're both tourist guides, and we took the serious business of taking a product that would have been thrown away, like the leftover olive oil at the bottom of the jug once it settles, or maybe you didn't finish all your olive oil, and because it was stored improperly or saw sunlight, it would go sour. So there's always oil being thrown away. In the olden times, there was a soap factory in Mehmetçik, Galatia, and they used to go around with a big barrel on the back of a tractor, and for every okka, you know, the measurement, a couple of kilos of olive oil, they would give you a big bar of green soap, which you use to wash your clothes as well as your head. So this is along the same line. We get old oil from people, and we are making a new product.
So you got somebody in the village making this?
Well, I make it.
This is your meat?
This is my product. This is why I brought it.
Is that your stand then on Sunday?
I will be selling soap, as well as there's another lady. We teach a lot of people, and other people are making soap.
Give the benefits of having, if I wanted to, you know, promote healthy living, healthy life, village life, going back to, you know, Cyprus of yesteryear, and people, as you said, making use of things that are thrown away, like the old olive oil. Why would I want to buy your soap instead of going to a supermarket and buying the fragrance soaps that everyone wants to buy?
Well,
what is so good about
the olive oil soap is completely natural. The ingredients that we use in it create a new product. So we do use caustic soda by the cold method, but caustic soda disappears. After 2 years, the saponification is finished. After 2 weeks, I mean, the saponification is finished, and it's quite safe to use. It doesn't have artificial colorings, flavorings, or smells, scents, which can be irritating to people.
So it's very good for those who have sensitive skin?
Yes, very good for sensitive skin. I'm going to share this at the studio so you can pass them around, one for everybody.
Thank you very much.
There are friends who even they grate it and they use it for washing their babies.
A lot of people, yes, they come to me. They want
baby clothes.
They put it in their washing machine. They put it in their dishwasher.
You can grate it, and then it could be like, you know...
Yes.
In a dishwasher as well?
Yes, in the dishwasher.
Wow, I never knew that.
The only thing, you can wash your hair with it, but the only thing I would suggest is a little vinegar rinse afterwards. So if you want to go completely eco, you can do that. I also grow my own loofahs, you know, the long sponges, because a lot of people think they come from the sea. You'd be surprised at how many people think that loofahs is not a vegetable. It is a vegetable, but they think it comes from the sea.
But You can actually
It's a
grow
vine. It grows on trees.
and you can find it at Büyükkonuk.
We can find it in Büyükkonuk.
And then we have obviously the çörek,
Yes,
the bread,
the
which
bread.
is lovely. And again, you made this, or is
Yes, every Sunday I do baking. It's an
Yes.
activity because when people come to an eco-village, there has to be something happening. So I've decided when I bake my own bread, I'll include other people in it. So they can come to me and we can organize. I provide tea and coffee. They get a little piece of bread. They make their own shape. I show them the traditional way and that they can fire in the big oven, and then they sit and have coffee and cake.
And this could be any Sunday.
Any Sunday, every Sunday.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, the second bread is what we call bulla, and it's very unique to this part of Cyprus.
Right.
It's got halloumi cheese or hellim cheese in it, and it's got a lot of herbs. In this one, I think I've got spinach leaves,
And olive.
celery leaves, coriander, and mint leaves, and onion leaves, and they all create a unique taste. It's like a sandwich, but no layers in the
No
bun.
layers, just
no
all
layers,
together.
just all together.
Looks delicious.
And the olives. Well, that's for you to eat afterwards as well.
Thank you very much. So all that we see here has been kindly donated by you lovely ladies. And even this, you're talking about the children going along. I mean, I know that, you know, today kids are interested in just, you know, on the phone all the time or technology. But for a young child to go along to see traditional stands and stalls, eating traditional food and drink, going on the donkey ride, going for a walk, and then this is like a pen holder. I mean,
It
everyone's
is a
got
pencil,
pens,
yes, a pencil
pencils.
holder or a paintbrush holder.
Yeah, or
That
paintbrush.
is our logo, by the way. That
And that's the logo. We have the Büyükkonuk logo. I know that logo with the donkey there as well.
It's registered to our association.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Very beautiful.
And my husband is a carpenter, so he makes
Lois
candles out of
Cemal made this.
Ismail, yes, he makes candles. So the same thing. He makes butter knives, wooden forks, wooden spoon, and
So things like this will be on sale.
Kıymet makes
Yes.
dolls from like monkeys and dolls from socks. Very interesting. So there's something for everybody.
Yes.
Fantastic. And will you have a stand there as well?
Yes,
Yes.
I will have, and I will have specialties from Limassol that I was born, and there was some kind of cream cornets there, with biscuits outside and the custard inside.
Wow. Now, I was
yes,
listening to you when you were talking to Denise about cream cornets, and my mouth was watering outside. And Denise said, I'm going to the village just for this.
Just to make you come on the 6th
Yes.
of May.
Yes,
and,
cream cornets. So, you know, so even though you are on the committee, you are also working hard yourselves.
Yes,
of
yes.
course.
And you are teaching the other ladies, you've got
Yes.
younger generation coming up.
Yes.
And I know that you were saying that this is actually very good for empowering the women of
Yes.
the village.
Yes.
They are making like an extra wage for the house.
They are.
On just this day, on this special eco days and rural development days. So it's an amazing input. Has the village changed in the past 7, 8 years, 9 years since you've been doing this eco day?
It has,
Have you seen a
it
change?
has. Yes, it has changed. The women themselves are, for one thing, getting money. Before, they were not able to work. Okay, so a few people, maybe if their husband went into Famagusta, they would get work as cleaning lady or something. But many of them were not educated because schooling was not compulsory when they were young. So they might have finished primary school or they might have finished middle school, but not many of them went to high school. And they they're very self-conscious. They were also, there's a traditional pattern in Cyprus where the man is has the last word in the household. So if she wanted to do something, she would have to okay it with him. If she wanted money for something, he would hold the money in his pocket and she'd have to go with her hand out and say, can I have something? And he would say, what is it for? I gave you some last week. And I mean, I've seen this, I've witnessed this, I kid you not, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And it's going to be for medicine for the children, or books for the children, for school, shoes, things that for everyday life that we take for granted. Now, they're totally different. The women, not only do they have money in their pockets, but they have confidence. They're working for themselves, and the husbands have more respect for their wives.
Yeah.
Because they brought out the traditional menus, the traditional cuisine, the traditional crafts. I mean, we've taught basket making, we've taught tear making, we've taught all kinds of things. We brought in specialists from other areas and taught them. So they're very happy. They have skills now which were being lost.
Yeah. Kıymet Hanım, I know from, like I said before, from everyone around me saying, oh, we're going to go to the Büyükkonuk Day. Lots of Cypriots like to go out as families, but I know that you have lots of tourists and lots of expats living here, coming along. Is it a multicultural event, do you think?
Yes.
Yeah?
And this time also I'm inviting, you know, we have donkey days also every year in February when the schools are on holiday. On the second Sunday we have donkey days, especially for the children to come and ride the donkeys and do something. And during that day we met I have a friend, a Scottish friend, who sells second-hand things and buy food for the cats. Okay, she has a stand every Saturday in a restaurant somewhere near our village. So this time we are inviting her to come, and she brings lots of English people, lots of customers. She's coming and we are giving her a free stand. She's going to sell second-hand things there, and with the money that she's gaining, she's going to buy food for the dogs and cats. Okay, and also even this encourage people to come, and also they like Büyükkonuk. This time it is not too crowded. You know, we have English advertising leaflets and things, and we distributed to them. We gave them, and they were very happy to bring to their neighbors, even to Turkish neighbors around Iskele or you're near Famagusta, and they will invite their people to come. They are waiting. And also, as Lois mentioned, I don't know if she mentioned, these Eco Days, it is all for 10 years, is the first Sunday every May. Some people that live in abroad, you know, even the Turkish Cypriots or the foreigners, book their holidays to come and visit Büyükkonuk.
Yes.
So we don't want to disappoint them. We are going to make a small activity they will come and enjoy, and the older people that are complaining that they will not find, they cannot walk to the main place when we used to have big occasion, they may come.
Yeah.
They were quiet. Nice.
So, going back to its roots, the Rural Development Day takes place on 6th of May, which is Sunday, between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. in Büyükkonuk. And Büyükkonuk is a beautiful village on the way to the Karpaz. I'm sure you get lots of visitors going that direction anyway, because it's such a lovely area. Büyükkonuk is very famous now because of your Eco Days as well. But do you normally have visitors at the other times of the year, not just on the Eco Day, but do you have, like you say, you know, you open your doors, you know, your homes to people, showing them things going on a Sunday, but do you have people passing by or coming to the village just to see what's going on?
Yes, we do, and we have actually 3 bed and breakfasts in the village, as well as 13 cabins in the woods at Pine View. So we have accommodation for probably 70 people, and we do get bookings. I manage the website, which is ecotourismcyprus.com. So that's my advantage, that's my contribution to the community. I myself had the only B&B in the village for many years, but I decided when the other ones opened up, because they didn't have the English language, and that's where most of their income would have come from, I do it for them. They give me a commission, and it's a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned, because we have about 2 weeks ago we had the bird watching group came. They come every year for maybe 12 years now, and they couldn't stay in our village before, but once these homes were established, they really enjoy staying in our village. So one of them has how many 5 little chalets, stone, and the other one has 4 rooms in a row. So they can take about 10 people each, and then we have the cabins, which are 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and even a double-story 3 bedroom. So they're for families. So
anyone could really make a weekend of it, couldn't they? They could come down maybe Saturday and Sunday and stay the night, have a great time there. And I know that Büyükkonuk is one of the most beautiful areas on the way to the Panhandle, on the way to the Karpaz Peninsula. If you are in that area, pop into the Rural Development Day. And I know you have a special video here protecting local heritage.
Yes.
We have eco-villages as viable models of sustainability. It's very serious. It isn't just having a nice day out and giving a bit of life to the village. It's actually promoting ecotourism, sustainability, protecting tradition, heritage. And it's actually bringing culture alive, isn't it? Things that might die out.
Well, we actually need to lobby the government more.
Yeah.
And this is why we have this platform, which we're calling Rural Development Platform. And it's a worldwide thing. Mass tourism is one thing. All right, it's cheap flights come out and people come and they spend money. But who benefits from it? Okay? In our village, the local people benefit. The money goes straight into people's pockets.
Yeah.
Her pocket, my pocket, and the other ladies. If you have a business, it goes to there. So if you have a big hotel, you might work there as a taxi driver, a chef, or a cleaning lady. You get a wage, okay? So it's not the same. So this way, it's small people, small businesses, but it's something that is supporting the culture, and we care about the environment. Okay, we've banned plastic bags, for example, at the festival days.
So you won't see any plastic bags.
No, bring your own cloth bags,
yeah,
please.
bring your cloth bags along with you.
Or
two.
We provide cloth bags as well. We provide. I always make different sketches on it.
She has lovely hand-painted bags.
Hand-painted bags, and my other friends have bags also. And also, by this, we save the many trees, you know, the carob trees.
Yes.
The carob has not any money-wise value, because they used to pick the carrots and give it to the factory and wait for the money. But now they use the carrots to make pekmez, carob molasses, or even they grind it and make carob powder now, and even that money is valuable now. And so we save the environment, we save the trees, we save the olive trees, because they can sell their olive oil and they can use it in their products. So it's all.
I'll tell you something interesting as well. We make sure that none of our people get carobs from the factory.
Yes.
They have to go and pick it themselves. You know the reason for that? In the factory, they put poison down for the rats, to keep the rats away.
Right.
So we don't want the rats running on it, we don't want the poison on it. So anyone who makes it, they have to prove that they've bought them themselves, and they're going to make something clean.
Wow, well, it's been a very fascinating couple of conversation with you ladies, and let me conclude by reminding you once again that the Rural Development Day takes place on Sunday the 6th of May between 10 AM and 5 PM in Büyükkonuk. You can find out more about what's going on there, about how to get involved with Village Live, to find out more about what these ladies are doing, about the Büyükkonuk Ecotourism Association and Rural Women. If you want to support them in any way, you can do so. And it'll be a fun day out for everyone. And if you have the time, maybe go and book yourself in the village, stay at the B&B, and enjoy a great weekend in one of the most beautiful places in the TRNC. But Kıymet, Alibey and Lois, Cemal, thank you very much for coming in today. Good luck with the event.
Thank you.
Have a great time.
Thank you.
And I look forward to hearing about how things went. I'm sure it'll be another fun-packed day for everyone. But thank you for all that you're doing for the tourism, for ecology, for tradition, for society, and for the ladies, and for the whole villagers in Büyükkonuk. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And with that, we've come to the end of a cup of conversation for this week. Until next time we meet again, go well and take care. Bye-bye.